Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Clout Chasing Caitlin Clark podcast. I think that's what it's called. Unapologetic Clout Chasing of Caitlin Clark podcast, hosted by Angel Reese.
Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel, was supposed to be her ultimate spotlight space to showcase her charm and wit beyond basketball, but instead of solidifying her dominance, it turned into a stage for awkward moments, unexpected controversies, and one name that just won't leave the conversation, KL Clark. And if that wasn't enough, Shaquille O'Neal's recent guest appearance turned Reese's show into something no one could have predicted. Between his brutal honesty and seemingly intentional trolling, Reese was left in an uncomfortable position both as a host and as a basketball personality. But Shaq didn't stop there. Oh no. He took his trolling to his podcast, doubling down on some truly jaw-dropping takes.
Shaq likes to use his position to motivate people. And I was curious, I've heard Shaq's position on it. How do guys normally react when Shaq calls them out? Have you ever seen that perspective before?
Big guys be hurt.
Yeah.
Big guys be hurt. Even when, like I done seen, I ain't gonna name nobody names, but I done seen.
The kid the other day, yo man, get on my snap so you can go viral. And I told him no. He's like, why you tell me no? I was like, because what's your plan after you go viral? What you gonna do? Anybody can go viral on Monday. What you gonna do on Tuesday?
Bro.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So why does Reese's podcast keep circling back to Caitlin Clark? What exactly did Shaq say? And why is it causing such a stir? And why is Shaq trolling her once again? Wasn't he Reese's #1 fan? Most importantly, what does all of this mean for Reese's attempt to stay relevant in the highly competitive world of women's basketball? Stick around as we dive into every moment. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
So that's Shaq giving Caitlin Clark some credit right to the face of Angel Reese. Angel Reese sitting there gritting her teeth, I'm sure.
Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel, was meant to showcase her personality and keep her relevant off the court. But instead of solidifying her star power, it's unintentionally doing something else, giving Caitlin Clark a bigger spotlight. From its earliest episodes, Reese's podcast has been hijacked by discussions of Clark's dominance in basketball. Guests seem unable to resist mentioning her even when Clark isn't remotely tied to the topic. Social media caught on quickly with one viral tweet joking the Caitlin Clark Hour, hosted by Angel Reese. While meant as a joke, it's closer to the truth than Reese might want to admit. Take a recent episode with Shaquille O'Neal. What should have been a celebratory moment for Reese quickly turned awkward. Instead of focusing on Reese's achievements, Shaq pivoted to a glowing review of Clark's basketball prowess. He described her as the truth and compared her three-point shooting.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before.
Even more uncomfortably, Shaq admitted to being proven wrong by Clark's performance, an admission that had Reese visibly squirming. For viewers, it felt like Reese's spotlight was being stolen right before her eyes.
We've never seen it before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that done it in spurts, but you know, that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because, you know, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth.
But Shaq's appearance was only the latest in a series of similar incidents. Reese's previous guests, whether intentionally or not, have consistently steered the conversation back to Clark, whether it's praising her skills or analyzing her impact on the sport. Clark's name seems inescapable, and then there's the speculation. Is this an intentional strategy by Reese to piggyback off Clark's fame and draw more viewers? Or is it a reflection of Clark's overwhelming influence in women's basketball, where her name carries so much weight that it simply dominates every room? Either way, it's a difficult look for Ree, who seems to be playing second fiddle, even on her own platform. How impactful has your relationship been with Angel?
She's like a daughter to me, so I'm going to protect her. I'll call her every now and then, just mess with her, but it's great. She's doing a great job.
As ironic as it is to hear Shaq sing Clark's praises on Reese's podcast, his comments about Reese herself turned this from an awkward moment into outright embarrassment. Shaq's blunt critiques left Reese reeling and her fans fuming. Let's break down those shocking comments next. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
All right.
Bro.
All right.
If Angel Reese thought having Shaquille O'Neal on her podcast would bring her support and validation, she was in for a rude. Awakening Shaq's appearance wasn't just a missed opportunity, it turned into a masterclass in trolling that left Reese fans fuming and basketball fans buzzing.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
The awkwardness began early with Shaq delivering what some fans described as verbal body shots. One of the most talked about moments was his comparison of Reese to Anton Jameson, while Jameson was a capable player who enjoyed a respectable NBA career. He never made it to the Hall of Fame, a stark contrast to Shaq's own legendary status. By framing Reese in this light, Shaq implied she was more of a role player than a future icon, a comparison that seemed to cut deep.
He called her Antoine Jameson. Most people, trust me, she was offended.
She didn't know who that was.
She probably does. She's a basketball fan. She probably does. But, I mean, Antoine Jameson ain't cracking nobody's top 200 in NBA history. And this woman thinks she's one of the greatest WNBA players or greatest women's basketball player of all time.
Then came the critique of Reese's layup technique. Shaq dismissed it as basic, adding, "You're too worried about what people think, stop caring, and just focus on your game." For someone like Reese, who has built her brand on unapologetic self-expression, Shaw's unsolicited advice felt more like a dismissal of her entire approach.
Oh, she can't be rookie of the year because all she do is do the flip shots, get rebound. Just remember all that shit that they say.
The strangest moment, however, was Shaq's comment about Reese's shorts, suggesting they might help draw more attention to the WNBA. Fans didn't hold back, labeling the remark creepy and wildly inappropriate. Reese herself seemed caught off guard, and the silence that followed the comment felt louder than any rebuttal she could have given.
Bro, imagine you.
I'm not imagining.
Let me finish. Imagine you in the same little shirt you had on at the Wild 'N Out show, Duncan. You know how many t-shirts you gonna sell, cuz? You tripping.
Oh my
What?
God.
What?
Oh God.
The same little shirt you had on.
Okay, all right.
Bro.
Social media erupted in the aftermath, with fans dissecting every word of Shaq's appearance. Many wondered why he chose Reese's podcast to air such pointed critiques. Shaq's unfiltered honesty raised more questions than it answered. Was it tough love, a calculated move to generate headlines, or simply Shaw being Shaq? Whatever the motivation, his remarks didn't just overshadow the episode, they amplified Reese's struggles to maintain control over her narrative. But Shaq wasn't done. His own podcast became the stage for round two, where the trolling reached new heights. If Angel Reese thought the trolling stopped when Shaq left her podcast, she was sorely mistaken. Shaq took the controversy up a notch on his own platform, using his podcast to double down on the remarks that had already set social media ablaze.
Like, I may go say some off-the-wall stuff and do that, but you gotta understand about me, everything I do is planned. For example, the Angel stuff. Y'all don't think that was done purposely?
Shaw wasted no time addressing the fallout from his appearance on Reese's show, but instead of dialing things back, he leaned in harder. "Every single thing I said was intentional," Shaq declared, his voice dripping with unapologetic confidence. "I wanted people to talk about it." This admission left no doubt that Shaq's comments on Reese's podcast were carefully calculated to stir the pot. He didn't stop there. Shaq revisited his critique of her layup technique, saying, "It's not criticism, it's advice. But if you don't want to take it, that's on you." For Ree, who has already faced scrutiny for her play style and public persona, this felt less like tough love and more like a deliberate effort to chip away at her credibility.
It was, because I know everything I said, you dummies was gonna click, we was gonna go viral, and the big podcast network was gonna do what we do, be number one. Thank you very much, dummies.com. Everything I do is planned. So anyway, if you got a camera in my face, I already know what that's about.
Shaq's podcast episode went viral almost instantly, sparking debates not only about Reese standing in the WNBA, but also about Shaq's intentions. Was he offering constructive criticism? Was this just another example of Shaq's love for creating viral moments? Does that mean Shaq truly thinks Angel is a mere role player? And what about his cringeworthy comments of her shorts? As the dust settled, one thing was clear: Shaq's second wave of trolling amplified the tension surrounding Reese, casting an even brighter spotlight on Caitlin Clark. And with Reese's credibility under fire, the question remains, can she reclaim control of the narrative?
Now, Caitlin plays the right way. I saw it. She makes the right play. Every time. Not all the time. She makes her teammates better. She shoots the ball. She's a great player.
As Shaq's comments on Angel Reese dominated headlines, a larger narrative was beginning to emerge, one centered on Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on women's basketball. While Reese's efforts to control the narrative around herself seemed to backfire, Clark continues to let her skills do the talking, solidifying her role as a transformative figure in the sport. What sets Clark apart isn't just her record-breaking stats or her ability to drain logo-range threes with ease, it's her consistency. While Reese has been embroiled in controversies ranging from social media spats to podcast missteps, Clark has remained laser-focused on elevating her game. Her dedication is evident in everything from her on-court performance to her off-season ventures, which now include golf, a sport she's quickly gaining recognition, and it's in the car, actually.
It's in the car, actually.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yay!
This stark contrast and approaches hasn't gone unnoticed by fans and analysts alike. Shaw's glowing praise for Clark, calling her a game-changer and a future Hall of Famer, isn't just a reflection of her skill set, but also her ability to inspire a new generation of players. Clark's rise feels organic, a natural progression of someone whose talent is impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, Reese's calculated attempts to stay relevant often seem to fall flat or spark backlash, even outside of basketball. Clark's influence is reshaping how fans view women's sports. Her transition into golf has opened doors to new audiences, showcasing her versatility and breaking down stereotypes about what female athletes can achieve. It's a move that not only boosts her personal brand, but also helps elevate the entire WNBA by association. Shaw's pointed comments about Reese versus his effusive praise for Clark reflect a broader sentiment in the basketball world. As one fan noted online, Clark is everything Reese wants to be: dominant, respected, and controversy-free. This sentiment underscores the growing gap between the two athletes, both in terms of public perception and on-court achievements.
Shaquille O'Neal knows talent when he sees it. Shaquille O'Neal knows a baller when he sees it.
As Clark gears up for her second season with the Indiana Fever, the stakes are higher than ever. With every game she plays, she not only cements her own legacy, but also pushes the WNBA closer to the mainstream spotlight. Meanwhile, Reese faces the challenge of reclaiming her narrative in a landscape that increasingly seems to favor Clark. So, where does this leave Reese, and can she turn the tide in her favor? Shaw's unfiltered commentary has done more than just spark a social media frenzy. It's exposed a widening gap between Angel Reese's attempts to stay relevant and Caitlin Clark's unstoppable rise. What began as a podcast episode meant to highlight Reese's personality and career instead turned into a public lesson in the power of undeniable talent. From Shaw's sharp critiques of Reese's game to his unabashed praise for Clark, the narrative is clear. Clark represents a new standard in women's basketball, while Reese struggles to keep up. Reese's efforts to control her narrative, whether through her podcast or social media presence, often feel overshadowed by Clark's consistent excellence and authenticity.
Shaq just called her a role player, not a star, certainly not a superstar, not a legend. Hey, you remind me of Antoine Jameson. Oh, nice player. Put up 20,000 points. No one's really heard of him. I think Antoine played at North Carolina. Anyway, Shaq slams Angel Reese to her face.
Shaq's trolling wasn't just about getting laughs, it reflected a broader sense in the basketball community. His words highlighted the stark differences between Reese's controversial reputation and Clark's growing legacy. And as Shaq himself said, every comment was intentional, designed to spark conversations, debates, and perhaps even reflection. The implications for Reese are significant. If she wants to reclaim the spotlight, she'll need to let her game do the talking and refocus on what made her a household name in the first place: her talent. Meanwhile, Clark's influence continues to expand, pushing boundaries both on and off the court as the rivalry between these two players heats up. One thing is certain: Caitlin Clark isn't just a competitor, she's setting the pace for the future of women's basketball. Whether Reese can rise to meet that challenge remains to be seen. What's your take on Shaq's comments? Was he too harsh, or was he simply speaking the truth? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.